folks this morning. So we thought it would be interesting to talk to you about this new study. We're always finding these new and interesting studies, and I love it because, when Susie is here, she'll always say, "Now, who did this study?" She just gets so.
Did they spend money on this kind of stuff? Because I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I think they do. Yes, I think they do. They spend money. Anyway, there was a Today Mom survey that they spoke to moms, and they said that husbands are a bigger source of stress than kids are for nearly half of the moms that they spoke to. Mom said, you know what? The kids are one thing, but the husband is more stressed because he's not pulling his weight around the house, or he's not, doing what he wants to do. And you have 3 kids, yes?
I have 3 kids.
What would your wife say to this?
And a beautiful wife.
Depends on me. Depends on what. It depends on the time of the day, or I'm not going to say the time of the month because all men they have
Y'all, we got to stop blaming it on that. It happens the same time every month. It's no surprise.
It's on the calendar.
You should put it on your calendar.
The guys go through that also.
That's a kind of a headlining thing.
Well, I think especially as you get older, and I do think there's some. This is relevant too. I do think that there is like a hormonal thing that happens for men, especially as you get older, that you do have like peaks and valleys and ups and downs, just like women do. So,
well, you know what? I have 3 kids. I have an 18-year-old and twins, a boy and a girl that are 13, will be 13. My daughter thinks she's going on 17, but kids are to a certain point can be difficult. I know when they become a teenager, it's all of a sudden they don't want anything to do with you.
Right.
It's like, I ask guys, I'm like, well, what do you, you've had daughters, what do you do? He said, just get out of the way, Tony. But that's not in my nature. So I'm going to say kids can be more stressful than the spouse's husband.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because it's from the other side of things, right? So women tend to feel like they have to do everything, and they're doing stuff around the house, and whether or not they have help with it or not, they're doing stuff around the house, and they're wrangling up the kids, and in traditional situations, the male's kind of going to work and he's taking care of all that stuff. So I think that these women who were polled are saying that they felt stressful because of that. And there is your beautiful wife. Is it Tamara?
Wow, that's Tamara right there.
Y'all have been married 16 years.
16 years.
3 children.
We've known each other for 18 years.
How'd y'all meet?
We actually met at an old place called Sapango. This is going back in the 90s.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they used to be over there on Travis Street.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Max Anderson. So it's so funny. I always say, I played back in the 90s. So people are saying, man, the Cowboys, you guys are great. How come the Cowboys aren't any good now? I said, well, I played in the 90s. We had great music and good football. But anyways, I met her at Sapango. It was funny. I was in New York at the time. I was playing with the Jets, and I just I was just hanging out with some friends, and a friend of mine was actually on a professional golf tour at the time. He had said that he was with her sister that was engaged to him at the time, and I said, I just walked over there. Someone took a picture, and she actually sent me the picture to New York, and I'm like, I get this fan mail, and I'm like, wow. I said, open it up. I'm like, that's some marketing or something. I said, well, who's this hot chick? So I remember showing this in the locker room to some of my teammates. I said, what do you think? I need a poll on this woman. And so we just hit it off, and we become friends, and then kind of one of those long distance relationships. And then I came back to Dallas, and then I finished out my career here, and she, I had her fooled.
Oh, you hit her with that Latin charm. That's what you did.
Well, yeah, I think when.
He goes, well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, I just. It just depends. It depends. When you meet someone, it's like it just seems like they always hear the cliche. Love's, just hits you across the head, and when you're not expecting, I don't even know if that's a cliche. But anyways, that's basically what happened. I mean, I wasn't really expecting to meet anyone. I didn't want to meet anyone because I like being a bachelor. And,
sure. You're a professional athlete. You're the poster child for tall, dark, and handsome.
I tell you what, those 90s were good. I mean, we had some good times.
Well,
good memories.
As the only single person on the panel, I think I always, tell them I don't go to bars and go out with the intention of thinking I'm going to meet like the perfect guy tonight. And so it's funny to me when people say, oh, I met my wife at a bar, I met my husband at a bar, and I was out there with my girlfriends, and I was so just incoherent to even hot guys, and then this guy walks up, and I was just had my breath taken away. So
that's why I really
it's interesting.
I could never figure out. We all go out and socialize and bars, and I mean it's a lot of fun. But I never really had much luck meeting someone that I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and it
Yeah.
just so happened, it just, you never know. But I wasn't looking.
Right.
And you have that whole thing too. Like I think when you're a professional athlete, there's a whole other thing that you have to look out for. And you don't want to. I think a lot of women are opportunistic, and so
You hear
got that
those
whole thing.
stories
Cleat
every
chasers.
day, yeah.
Can we talk
Gold
more about
diggers.
that after the break? We're